Hi everyone, welcome to my virtual mark making workshop. Now today's workshop will last for an hour from 11 till 12 as I have a presentation in the afternoon. So these workshops last for 2 hours normally every Wednesday using the same link, the same login information and the same Eventbrite link as well. We're just going to give it a few more minutes to see who we've got and then we'll get going. So this is the fourth workshop that we've had, so the first month of these sessions. We're using different materials, different objects, and the idea is we're going to be making different marks on the surface using these random objects. So I've got things like cleaning things, kitchen utensils, everything that represents the domestic environment and being at home during lockdown. And now these works are very abstract, and some of these pieces are from what people have sent me in previous workshops. Now, the idea is you can all create at home. This is going to be a very much social space where we can all discuss new art making techniques. And then if you want, you can send me either postal copies or images of these pieces that you've made and to go on my DIY kind of gallery kind of wall that I've got behind me. I think it's quite a nice idea because this, in a way, I'm going to say exhibition, will change over the course of the next few weeks and you'll be able to see your different pieces on the wall, which I think is really, really nice. So we're going to give it a few more minutes and then I think we will get started, if that's okay. Oh, brilliant. Hi, Fiona.
Hi, Holly. How are you?
Okay, thank you. Are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm really good. Yeah. Is it just the two of us today?
Well, I was expecting Liz and one of her arty friends to be joining us, but again, I'm not too sure. She may be running. Yeah, she says she couldn't make it for the full hour, so I think for the start it will just be us two. I know Amanda's had to go to the hospital with her mum, and then a few other people in my class are doing presentations. Now that's the reason why this workshop today is only an hour, because my presentation is actually in the afternoon, so it'll give me time to get some photographs and have my lunch.
Are you prepared for your presentation? Are you ready for it?
I've got 19 PowerPoint slides, and I've got I'm using the notes section as well, so it's quite easy to share your screen on Teams. Now I think I'm getting used to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
This is the second kind of presentation that we've had to do using Zoom or Teams or whatever. So
it's quite good practice for you, because I imagine not everybody on your course is using Zoom in a practical learning, as a learning tool as well as a delivery tool. So no, yeah,
a lot of people are using things like Zoom and Teams just for things like meetings and stuff with the uni, not necessarily in their practice. So I think, yeah, it's quite handy for me because I kind of know most of it. I mean, I say that, but yeah, I've got quite a good understanding of it, I think. With today only being an hour, I think we should kind of get cracking then.
Yeah, let's do it.
What kind of things have you got today then, material-wise?
Right, so I'm a shade bear. I'm going to be working on cardboard.
Brilliant.
I liked your brush, so I'm going to get the brush, and I'm hoping to find a ball because I enjoyed the circular motions that you were making last week with your ball.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. What have you got in front of you today?
Oh, I'm just changing my gallery. Oh, that's better. I'm changing it to a gallery view, so when I record, I can see both of our faces at the same time. So today I've got, similar to last week, I've got a lot of bubble wrap. I've got my pastry cutters, which I think I'm going to use. Now, they proved very handy last week for me. Then I've got some different brushes, different sponges, and things like this, like spatulas and plastic kind of.
All right.
And then plenty of large brushes. Now, I do quite like using these to create different marks as well. And then I've got some palette knives and the comb as well. The comb's coming out again. Now that really nice lines across the surface as well. So yeah, quite and possibly a nail brush. That was quite good. Now the track marks that I created as well last time were made using this tennis ball as well. And so I've got that out again along with my whisk as well.
Your trusty whisk.
A trusty whisk.
Okay, and acrylics, you're using acrylics, aren't you?
Well, today I've got some watercolors out actually as well. Today I've got acrylic watercolors, and I do have some chalks, but again, not too sure if I'm going to use them. But we'll see.
See what happens. Right. Okay, let's go. I'm just going to go for 2 minutes.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
Oh, back. Yeah, could have got myself a little bit more organized than that.
So far, this is what I've done. What do you think? I've used a nail brush and 2 different size pastry cutters. I'm kind of blending them together as well. It seems to work quite well between quite abstract things and then like different sized forms that you're using. So if you use like say an object to create such a large kind of pattern, then you've got like these small elements in between. It makes it quite nice, I think.
I like you always seem to have a path, a journey. There's often a journey with one of your tools that kind of either tells the overall story or tells the underlying story.
Yes, yeah. No, I think it's quite interesting as well seeing the work develop over time. I think time with this activity is quite important, the sense of being a time-sensitive activity in the sense that we're all together creating in one moment, but also the time in the sense that you're seeing the work develop and it's changing and adding more things to it. So again, that's something quite interesting to think about as well. Sure.
So what's your presentation this afternoon?
It's to do with all of the work that we've actually done this term, so from Christmas onwards. Now, we had an interim show, which was like an online digital exhibition showing different things that we're interested in, and I did a few films and a few workshops as well. So just discussing our artist influences, interests, work that we've been doing and how we can develop that further.
Does your workshop, do your workshops enter into that, or is this a?
They do, yeah, no, they do very much so. I was thinking about like a portable image installation. That is something that I've been thinking of developing as well. So again, collecting different pieces of work that I've made and that a few of you have made from these workshops, and then displaying them in different ways.
Oh, good one. I shall get some pieces sent to you this week.
Oh, brilliant.
On my list of things to do, reasons to go to the post office this week.
Oh, thank you very much.
Nice. Oh, this is nice. I love that brush. Thank you for the comb idea. This brush has been sitting around my bag for ages, and it's made some really nice. I don't know if it's going to be that obvious, but kind of nice speckledy things.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
I like the different lines and then the different marks that you've got in between there. That looks really good. I use
and I'm using a library card to make some crisscrossy lines.
Okay.
All one color at the moment. Let's bring something else in. I'm going to just scrape there as well. Nice.
All right. I always find myself collecting different objects as well, and I'm thinking, oh, I can use that for my workshops. I think the idea of using different objects as well can kind of tell a story in itself about the work as well, which is quite interesting.
Well, I think you're absolutely right, because I've got this little library card, which I wouldn't normally consider using for such a messy kind of probably ruin it activity.
Yeah.
But I haven't been able to get into my library for blooming year, so I'm feeling a little bit like, well, what's the point of that then? I'm gonna get some blue now. Well, maybe purple, maybe not. Oh, look, it just came to hand. It calls itself violet.
I have these cardboard strips as well that I'm using from cereal packaging. Again, quite a good material to use, I think.
Well, that's the thing, like, since I've been joining your workshops, is I've started looking at packaging, and you know, the little bits that come in with it, the bubbles, the textures that come in with it. I'm like, oh, that would make a nice thing.
I think it's quite a good idea to kind of join different things and develop new kind of techniques and different ways of doing things. I think it's quite interesting as well, you know.
So, seeing as how it's just the two of us, I'm going to ask a slightly delicate question. Do you ever charge for your workshops, Holly?
I have been thinking about doing that. I mean, at the moment, no. Okay,
I appreciate that there's a possibility that, you know, there's some kind of community-based activities that maybe people, not everybody can afford, and blah blah blah. But just to put it out there, I would be quite happy to be making some kind of contribution to the workshops. I would be quite happy to do that. So
think it's just encouraging people to, you know, have a look, and I guess finding the right amount that everyone is willing to pay, you know, each week. I kind of want people to join and for it to be like a social space where we can discuss different things and a community-based thing, but at the same time I would like to make a profit from it. So I think it's,
well, at the same time, I mean, apart from anything else, you're using, you know, you're using resources in the process of teaching other people and sharing with other people, and there's your time, and you know, maybe a student, but you still need to make a buck.
yeah, that's true.
Maybe a sliding scale or a pay what you can, suggested donation type thing.
Donation, that could be quite interesting.
Yeah,
I think I'll look into that then, maybe for
yeah. And you have quite a good, well, it seems to me you have quite a good personal relationship with some of the people. You know, you've got and you could maybe just speak to them and say, oh look, you know, whatever you can, and no pressure, so you don't exclude anybody.
Yeah, definitely. No, I think that could be something that I need to look into as well, because yeah, it would be quite nice to do something like that. So yeah, a possible donation to see, you know, what people are willing to give, but not only that, just so it includes everyone, because I don't want to set the price everyone can afford at the same time. So yeah, a donation, and it could be quite good.
Yeah. Don't be selling yourself short now. I can't get away from this brush. I'm making such good marks with it. I'm loving it.
Is that the hairbrush or?
Yeah, well, it's the end of a hairbrush. It broke.
Okay, brilliant.
Look, there's a wee thing there. I wonder what kind of space. I wonder what that would make if I did it that way. Oh, that's nice. So one of the things I'm loving about your workshops, Holly, is the kind of, it's a lot of when I'm trying to do artwork, and it really only is from my own pleasure. But what I've found out about myself is I can be quite literal, and I can be quite critical of myself because it doesn't look like what I want it to look like. Whereas actually coming on your workshops and just, you know, kind of being free and chaotic and just opening up and loving what I'm doing and going, doesn't have to be literal all the time. It doesn't always have to look like a bunch of flowers.
No, I think it's quite a good activity to help artists or just anyone, you know, loosen up and kind of get experimenting with different materials and different objects and trying things that they wouldn't necessarily try in a way. So yeah, no, I think it is quite a good activity to do, you know.
I wonder what happens if I do it on the other side.
Now, this started really from you know, the beginning of lockdown, and I started doing these regular Friday workshops. You've probably heard me talk about them with Amanda, the ones that I do on Facebook Live. I got approached by the charity to do these workshops, and then it began as a set of 6 workshops, and then it just kind of developed from there. And I'm still doing them now a year later. But it's helped me develop my work, I guess, because if I hadn't have done those, I don't think I would have thought about coming and doing live workshops. So again, getting me to try something new, as well as, I guess, taking me out of my comfort zone, because I wasn't confident of doing them at all. I just wasn't. But now I feel really comfortable doing them as well, and I really enjoy them. So.
It's such a nice way as well for lots of people that I know that, you know, do artwork or are artists, which are two different things, just lost all inspiration at the beginning of lockdown.
Yeah.
And just being able to communicate with other people, I think certainly for me, I hardly did anything at the beginning of lockdown, and when I did, it was all tight, knotty kind of stuff. And just being able to talk with other people who are similarly interested and interesting has been perfect. I'm not sure about this cotton bud. Oh, well, maybe cotton pad even.
What kinds of artwork do you normally do then? Do you do drawings or paintings or?
Well, yeah, paintings. I quite like acrylics. Yeah, I don't normally do anything. I just kind of take on whatever kind of takes my fancy at the time, I suppose. My dad's a pastel artist, and before that he used to work in a lot of watercolors. I like watercolors, but going back to me being literal, I can't make watercolors do what I want them to do. So I either need to kind of loosen up a bit with the watercolors or just continue with my acrylics. I like acrylics. I like the way they move. That one.
We used to like acrylic versus watercolors because they're so vibrant, you know. If you prefer more vibrant kind of colors than slightly pastel tones as well. So I think that is a reason for always trusting acrylic and always using a similar kind of thing that I need to get out of, you know. I think I do need to experiment with some different materials, but I always seem to go back to using acrylics.
New color. Maybe this is
Did you say that you're working on packaging as well today?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of a triptych, like I've got a piece that folds up and then, you know, like kind of like opens out, like so.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have 3, not separate, but distinct areas. See, I can't just kind of lend myself to the totally chaotic. I want yellow. I've been putting off getting new materials because I want to be in an art shop and do some choosing.
Yeah.
Rather than online and do some choosing. But I fear that I'm going to have to bite the bullet and get some stuff online. I've got paper online, which is okay, but what I really want is some new paints. So whereabouts is it you're based again, Holly?
I'm in Ostrich, North Yorkshire, so it's near Skipton. Have you heard it?
Okay.
So I'm about an hour and a half away from Leeds, so away from where I'm at uni.
All right. And it's Leeds Uni that you're at?
Yes, yeah, Leeds Beckett Uni. That I'm at.
So do you stay in Leeds usually?
I don't.
In
No,
term time?
I don't know. I travel on the train, so it's about 50 minutes
Wow.
from where I am. So no, I do that every day. I mean, it hasn't been so bad this year because obviously we haven't all been in the studio at the same time. We've had a 3-week rotation where you've had one level in and then another and then another. So we've been going in once every 3 weeks.
Right, okay.
So yeah, I mean, I'm hoping things can get back to normal fairly soon. But I mean, we've been told though that we are actually going back after Easter.
Okay.
So we'll be going back beginning the 12th of April.
Okay, that's good. And are you in your final year?
I'm not, no. Well, I will be next year, but no, at the moment, no, I'm in my 2nd year.
Right, okay. Well, that's quite good, because you wouldn't have wanted this to have been your final year.
No, definitely not. I think it's just making everyone feel very distant, even though you can come together using different technologies and using, video call. It's not quite the same.
No. And especially with something practical, like art, when, I mean, I know it's a very individual thing, but there's also a sense of community and learning from one another, and being an artist. Like, surely one of the best bits about doing art is being an artist and being with other people who do the, Oh, now then, I've just messed up all my colors and created something really quite nice there.
I do like the mix of patterns and then different textures that you get from the objects as well.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that. I find it really good because you can't really plan how it's going to look and what you're going to use. You just kind of use different things within that moment as well. So you're kind of developing that work over time, and you're not putting too much thought into it as well, which is quite nice about the activity as well.
Yes, I like that. And I also quite like as well that you find yourself suddenly going, oh, wait a minute, I need to do that. And you become very focused on a texture, a line, a space, whatever.
Yeah, that's very true. These really started for me after being interested in artists working in different spaces at the start of lockdown, and then kind of getting to know the environment and the space that you're within. So, for instance, using domestic objects and using the domestic space. So that's kind of how this idea developed. And I have already done things like different community workshops anyway, so it kind of gave me the idea to develop it further as well. And I guess using art as a way to be quite positive about the situation, but also to kind of bring people together as well. I think art's one of those things that everyone enjoys. I mean, I say that, I don't know, but yeah, I think everyone does enjoy it, and this is an activity that everyone can kind of take part in as well. It's not too.
I think I agree with you that everybody enjoys art. Not everybody knows that they enjoy art.
Yeah,
I think some people are quite resistant to it. And I think that might be because perhaps, as children, and perhaps less so these days, but art was something that you looked at something and you drew a proper representation of that thing. Too many rights and wrongs. Oh, I forgot about my library ticket. I'm going to go back to that. That made some fabby remarks. What colour am I going to do? more yellow, I think.
I think this would be quite a good thing to do, you know, maybe in summer when everything's hopefully lifted a little bit. An event that you could maybe do is like a live painting kind of thing that could take place. I was thinking about that. Or maybe a live installation where people can come and view the works created within these workshops. At the moment, I'm thinking about different ways that I can develop it, and at the moment I'm collecting lots of documentation, whether that's a film recording or works that have been sent or different conversations that we're having as well. So it's just a collection of things from each event or each experience, and then just developing them further and finding new ways to present as well, which is something that I was really interested in at the start of lockdown, at the start of this year, really.
It does. It opens up new ways of imagining, doesn't it?
Definitely, yes, definitely.
I forgot that we were on video, really. I maybe should make more effort with my appearance. It's a bit late to get vain now, isn't it?
No, I really record these sessions just because I like watching and listening back to the recordings and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, we do have. Yeah, I do like watching them back and everything. It's quite good. Hi Claire, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm late.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
I had me clean it and then Mum came round, so.
Oh, don't worry. Have you got any materials with you, or are you just going to be watching today?
I'll just watch actually for now, and then I've got some material, but I'll just watch for now.
This video is being recorded, so I can always send you the link and everything later if you like.
All right, okay, that's fine, yeah.
Now, at the moment, what we're doing is using different objects, so domestic kitchen things, or, you know, different found objects, so like combs or bubble wrap, or just random things that will make a mark. Using, you know, different paints as well. So at the moment, Fiona's using different packagings and different materials to make work with as well. So
Hi.
Brush, and I've got bull clips that I'm using.
That's good.
And lid circles.
Basically anything then.
anything that'll make a mark, and any material really as well. So it's more about
You and those of.
no, it's more about I guess the different marks that you're making and the experience of the process of developing the work rather than the finished thing as well. So maybe when you're using the marks, how do you feel? Do you feel happy, or what? And how do the different colours that you're using as well make you feel? So again, something to think about as well, Claire.
That's really good, yeah.
What are you working with then at the moment, Fiona? Have you seen a brush?
I have got a cotton bud that I've just been rolling around the left hand bit, and it's really nice the way the paint has been thick at the beginning, and it's kind of tapered off into a bit looser a thing. So I'm going to pop a second colour onto it and go over it.
I've been working with different kind of cardboard packaging pieces as well. I haven't started any large scale pieces actually today, because normally I work on my A1 card, but I haven't done that today, which is interesting. I've focused on more smaller pieces as well, so I might try and do a big one now. But if you look behind us, Claire, as well, these are all the different pieces that people have actually made in these workshops.
All right.
None of this behind me is my own work, which is quite interesting. It's different pieces that people have made within these sessions.
That's really good.
So if you want to maybe join next week and then have some materials with you, then you can create.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've got my material over there, but it's like all in bags
Oh,
I have
don't worry.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that my cleaner, she comes like, well, she should come at 10:30, but she comes early sometimes.
Oh, that's fine.
And, yeah, so,
Yeah.
and because she's cleaning everywhere, I can't really sit down the computer and,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
do any work or anything, because, you know, she comes in here, you know, she's got to hoover up around me and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah, that's fine.
So, yeah, so, yeah. But,
Well, that's created a nice mark. If you maybe get some packaging and fold it up, you can create some different marks as well, rather than flat as well. Maybe fold it over and half.
Fold it over. Yeah.
yeah, good.
I'm using oh gosh, what are these things called now? An earplug.
Okay.
So one of the, I was saying, Claire, I'm using my library ticket today, and I would never normally do that with a library ticket, library card, but because I've not been to the library for so long, I'm just like, nah, I'll just use it.
Why not?
And usually one of the things that I love doing is going to see live music. So I've always got ear plugs in my pockets and always got earplugs, you know, to kind of like protect my ears when the music's awful loud. But obviously haven't been to a festival, haven't been to any live gigs. So I'm just going to use my earplugs for art instead.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. I just wish I'd got something out there to do. But the other thing is, I haven't got a really big table to do it on, because I've only got this square table, and like, now it's not very much room.
Yeah.
10 minutes. Perfect. Sorry,
Unless
Claire.
I was clear and push my laptop up to the wall, and then I could use this space. Couldn't I? I'll do that next week.
I think it's good when you manage to get a little bit of space, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I've only got a tiny flat, so I've only really got this room to work in, because I could really do with an extra room to like do other things. Because I've only got a living room, a bedroom, a kitchen, and a bathroom, you see. So, and I work from home as well, so it's a bit difficult.
That is difficult, and it's difficult when your working space is your living space. Would you normally work from home, Claire, or is that a COVID thing?
Well, normally I work in British Art Foundation, but because it's been closed for like ages, well, I went in like one day in January, and then we shut. So, but I do work from home as well, because I'm an Ann Summers ambassador. So I sell all Ann Summers laundry and other stuff, you know. So, and I'm an actor as well. So.
Oh, that's a very difficult time for you as an actor then. Have you been able to do any online stuff?
Well, I've started doing TikTok. Oh, don't you know about TikTok?
Oh, TikTok, yes.
TikTok.
So no, I don't actually know about TikTok, as in I've heard of it, but I don't really know what it is. What is TikTok?
Well, you put videos on it.
Oh, I know what you mean. Are you on about TikTok, Claire?
TikTok, yeah, TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok.
Yeah, I've started doing that. So, but I can only do that once a week, because it takes time to prepare a TikTok, because Well, I did one on Saturday, and I had to get I put a dress on, and then I had to get a background and music behind it, you know. But like most people just like do voiceovers, you know, they do the lip sync. But I chose to actually act on it, you know, with my own voice. So, you know, which is better than actually doing a voice, doing a lip syncing thing. So
That's very good. So what sort of acting would you normally do?
Well, saying the truth, I haven't been paid yet as an actor.
It's a tough gig to get into, so
I know since I became an actor about like 10 years ago. Well, it's about 11 years ago now. I was with an agency, but she closed her books at the beginning of last year. So I didn't have an agency then, but I've just acquired an agency back in October. But and they're constantly submitting me for work all the time, but I just haven't heard any
Right.
from them yet.
Yeah.
So hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll get there.
Sometimes you've just got to be in the right place at the right time with acting, haven't you?
Yeah. I've been in. Well, people ask me as being a professional actor because it's because I don't think that professional actor means that you've got to be in TV programs and you've got to be famous and all like that.
Yeah.
Being a professional actor means that you're professional when you get from when you get there to when you come home. You're professional all the way through.
Yeah.
And I take my acting really seriously. You know, so.
And that's the difference. That is the difference, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So.
I live in Edinburgh, Claire, and you'll be aware of the Edinburgh Festival that we have every year.
Yeah.
And honestly, the number of shows that I've been to over the years where there are incredibly good actors, delivering amazing pieces of work, and like you, it's almost a labor of love because they're not getting paid for it. In fact, they're probably paying to come up to Edinburgh to put the shows on. And you just think, God, that is a really hard profession to love and to want to be in.
I do try and do a little bit, but like my business takes over really with me and from the business, you know, so I'm constantly on Facebook, putting slides on Facebook and stuff like that, which because I've got a disability, it takes me like quite a long time to do that. So, you know, and then I feel guilty because I feel like I should be doing something towards me acting, but just.
But if you're doing that stuff on TikTok, that's doing a bit of something, isn't it?
Yeah, and like who knows who can see that, you know, it's really good. I did start last year in doing like little acting pieces on YouTube.
Right.
I mean, I only did one, but I was going to continue with that, but then TikTok came. And I thought, yeah, why not? I'll do that instead.
So I genuinely don't really know what TikTok is. Is it an app? Is it on your phone? Is it a computer?
It's not what you get on your phone. I'll show it you. If you see it.
Yeah, it's an app that you can get on your phone, and a lot of people do like dances and different things on there as well. I had it for a few months, and I showed some of my drawing tutorials that I've been doing on my YouTube page.
Right.
Yeah, and you can really use it for anything. It does get quite a large audience as well, which is handy, I guess, if you want to share different things.
I was just talking to him just a couple of minutes ago, and he was totally ready to kill it.
Yeah.
I'm not even on Facebook. I have none of these things. Honestly, the fact that I'm sitting on Zoom is a small miracle.
I'm going to show you. I've got it turned on, but I'm going to show you the one that I did.
Okay.
See that?
Ah.
That was fantastic.
Oh, that's great. Look at the background that you've got in there, and what about the lighting? How do you get the lighting?
There's a bit of shape here. Well, I've got there's a bit of shape for that. I've got them. God, I need a filthy chair.
Ah, right. Okay.
With a ring light, and if you can, and it's got different kind of lights on it, so you get the right kind of light. Because I got that as well, not just to do TikTok. I got it for like if I'm doing auditions and so.
Right.
You know, because right now you've got to do self-tapes, what you do at home, and then you send them off to people.
Yeah.
So that's the new type of audition now.
Yeah.
Even without lockdown, you know, if you can't get down to somewhere, then you're like stuck. So that's why you do these self-tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can still throw your hat into the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that kind of links to what I was on about before, about like adapting to space and having very much like a self-tape, like a DIY setup. As well, it seems very practical and very, I guess, personal, because you know you're using these different environments and spaces within your house to create something as well. So think about. Now Claire actually knows me from the Heart Foundation as well. Now I used to volunteer there a few years ago.
Small world.
You what? Sorry, Claire.
We only met once, twice.
We did, yes. We were both on the till, weren't we?
Yeah.
Right, listen, I've just been told that there's a bowl of soup waiting for me because I knew that we were going to be finishing at 12 today. So I'm going to be heading off. But I'll give you that's been so nice today, Holly. I've got this on a bit of cardboard.
I love the different colours that you've got there.
Yeah, look how bold I'm getting with my colours. Like, and I'm mixing them up as well, because it used to be that I would only have like blues or greens and reds, and you know I wouldn't mix them up, but there's a bit more mixing up going on, so thank you for your encouragement.
You're brilliant. Thank you for joining me then this week, and would you send me some photographs maybe?
I will send you some photographs, and I will send you some practical pieces as well. I'll post you some actual things this week as well.
This week and then last week's as well, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I shall do that this afternoon. And what time's your Your presentation.
at 2 o'clock. So I've got time to pack up, get some photos, have my lunch, and then, yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm sure you'll be marvelous, but good luck anyway. And nice to chat, Claire.
Well, nice to see you.
See you later. Right, I'm going to carry on now, Claire, I think for like another 5 or 10 minutes. And then I'm going to end the Zoom call because I've got a meeting this afternoon. But then if you join next week, then you can help, joining with us making and everything. Now I'll show you something that I've made. So I've made this one. I'll just hold it up a little bit. Now it's A1, so I'm not going to hold it fully up, but I've used things like combs, nail brushes, paint brushes, little cups as well to create different rings and everything. And then here you can see that I've been flicking paint as well. So have you heard of Jackson Pollock?
What? Yeah.
He creates loads of like abstract large scale.
Yeah.
So these workshops are very much exploring different materials, different objects, and yeah, different marks. So using these different objects to create different textures. Again, using color and really any objects. That's what makes these works personal to you. You're creating work using found objects or objects that you've got in your house, whether that's plastic cutlery or stones outside or anything that you can find really to make a mark or to make different textures. Now you can also use things like watercolors, pens, oil pastels, chalks. You haven't got to use paint as well. So again, for next week, maybe think about that as well and what surface you want to use. So you can either use, small bits of white card, or you could use cereal packaging that you can open out. Now I'll show you one that
You know what? I just saw a cereal box, but it's just been out now. I should have kept it.
Well, I'll show you. It's just using just a cereal packet that I've opened out, and I've created this on top of it as well.
That's good.
Maybe if you haven't got any white card, think about saving packaging as well for next week.
Yeah, we'll do next week. Yeah.
That's great. I'm going to carry on for another 5 minutes then, and then I think we'll end the call, and then hope to see you next week.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah. I might actually do it on a little piece of card.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have much room here.
Oh, no worries. Maybe think about small pieces of card that you can find, because this activity really is about the process and the experience of using different objects rather than the scale of them. So maybe think about different pieces that you can find, small bits of card that you can use as well. It's not so much about the large scale, because obviously the pieces that you can see behind me have been done on, things like A4 newsprint or slightly larger pieces. So again, think about the scale that you want to create on. So if you haven't got the room and the space, don't bother making these large things, make smaller pieces. That could be.
Do it have to always be on card, or can it be on?
It can be on anything, absolutely anything. Card is quite a good material that you could use. Now, what I'm doing is I've created a large piece, and then I've got some small pieces of card. And what I'm doing now is I've done the painting or the performative act or whatever you want to call it. I'm then using small pieces of white card to face down on the work that I've done to create different marks. So then these are more pieces that I can use. So I'm using a printing technique, just pushing the paper down on the work I've already created, and then peeling it back really slowly, and then you've got different marks on these small pieces. I'm just going to put these down.
Yeah, it's good. I like getting creative sometimes.
That's good. Now I think it's really good to explore.
I don't do a lot.
Yeah, different materials, different colours. Maybe use your favourite colour. So think about colours that make you happy, or colours that reflect what's outside or in the environment, or when you go on holiday. So nice bright colours, and yeah, see what you can make. But I'll be interested to see what objects you've managed to find as well for next week.
I've got a few objects. I can use this.
No,
I
the
mean,
moment
I won't like it. I won't like it or anything, but I can use that. Got that.
Oh, no, at the moment I've been using things like
Oh,
brushes, bath sponges, kitchen utensils, different things that you can make interesting marks with. Because if I hold it up now, this has just been created using this nail brush. So
the
again,
thing as well is you've got to use things that you're not bothered about or like whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
use objects that you're not so precious about. So
Yeah,
maybe don't use a nail brush if you're going to be using it. You know,
yeah.
yeah, if you've got duplicates of anything, maybe a spare toothbrush or even
Yeah.
pattern that you can find. You know, you can always cut the strips off and use
Yeah,
them.
because with a toothbrush, you could like put the pair on and then you could flick it, couldn't you?
Yes, yeah, that's
Flick it on, and, or you could like pat it on, yeah.
so what I would say if you're going to do that is maybe put a sheet down or something, and then
Yeah,
you can use
yeah.
different brushes and yeah, flick paint. Go ahead.
Maybe I was just thinking that maybe I could do it on the floor. You know, like I could have the computer and then I could create something on the floor.
I did something similar to that in summer, and I was using. I'll show you. I've got some things like tennis balls and golf balls, and
Yeah.
I was actually bouncing the up and down. So yeah, you could always think about another space to work rather than working on a table like me. You could work on the floor
Yeah,
and maybe position your camera so we can kind of see what you're doing. But yeah,
Yeah.
you could work on the floor, you put a sheet down and everything. That could be really interesting as well.
Mm,
Definitely a different interpretation on this activity as well.
yeah.
What spaces can you use to make a mark? So again, yeah, that could be really good, definitely.
Mm.
Now, what I always tend to do on my last piece is you try and use as much of the paint that I've poured out as possible. So
Oh,
I'm going to be doing some things like some flicking paint. So again, channeling my inner Jackson Pollock.
yeah.
Yeah, think about different ways to apply the paint as well. So for me, I'm just scraping it off paper plates and flicking it on here. But what other ways can you use to, yeah, make marks and add the paint to the surface as well? That could be something to think about as well, for sure, for next week.
Yeah.
Now, next week's session will last for 2 hours. So again, feel free to join whenever.
All right.
It's only finishing at 12 today because I have a presentation at 2. Otherwise, it will be a 2-hour session, 11 till 1.
Right.
So yeah, bear that in mind. So we'll have plenty more time next week to make different things as well.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've got some black card
Okay.
and I've got some like paint and I've got some
Yeah,
I've
definitely.
got some glitter
Yeah.
and
Oh, you can
then
definitely.
I've got pens and stuff like that, like coloured pens and glitter pens and whatever, you know, so.
Yeah, and just think about different materials that you want to use, even if it's not objects. Maybe think about creating abstract pieces with brushes and then different materials rather than work. If you haven't got any objects, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Really just join and make different things, even if you want to make and you don't want to do this activity, you know, feel free to join and talk about different art techniques and art ideas. You know, it's very much a social space where we can all come together and make whether it's the mark making thing that we're doing or something else.
Yeah. I like your top.
You like my top? Yeah.
Your top, it's nice.
Very bright.
Yeah, I like bright.
Now I've actually got my cardigan on because I'm very cold today. Well, at the moment I am. But
Yeah, well, I'm a bit cold because my heating's not working at the moment.
oh,
I woke up I got out of bed this morning, went to put it on like usual, and it wasn't working. So I've rang the gas man, and he hasn't got back to me yet because I had to leave a message.
well, I'll get back to you soon.
So I've got no hot water.
Oh God.
I wanted to get a shower today because my hair's a bit greasy and I can't get a shower. So
Oh no, I'm sure it'll come soon, hopefully.
hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Right, I am trying to use as much paint as I can. Just using up what I've already poured. So again,
Good idea.
a really good way to do that, I think. But the good thing about using card as well is you can actually layer and add as much paint on as you want, because you know when you use A4 paper and it starts to
Yeah.
bend a little bit. Well, if you use card, it actually doesn't do that, or it doesn't take as long to do that. So
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
so maybe that could be something for me to think about, ready for next week's workshop.
How long does it take to dry on card?
Oh, I normally leave it out all night.
Yeah,
Again, it depends how much paint you add on. I mean,
yeah.
but yeah, I normally do leave it out all night. Claire?
Yeah, because I know that on paper it just soaks in, doesn't it? So
Yeah, it soaks in and then yeah, it's a bit, yeah, it starts to crumple up and then you can't
yeah,
put much on. So yeah, think about what surface you're going to use.
you've got your pros and cons, really. I think.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Oh. Mm.
I managed to create quite a few pieces. What I might do is make one more and then I think I need to pack up. What are you doing?
You carried away.
You what, sorry?
You get carried away.
I am
Don't
carried away.
you? Now my pen was on the table. I haven't got paint out of like a bottle or something. I've got this paint. This is the paint that I've got. I'll just wait till you come back. There. Got my sanity.
Right, I'm back. I'm here. Let's have a
And
look.
this is the paint I've got.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Will that be all right? Because I don't have the bottle of paint.
No, that'll be fine, Claire. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's watercolors.
Yeah. So I've actually got some watercolors that I was going to use, but I do like using a lot of ready mixed paint. But no, that should be fine, definitely.
Because there's a little brush inside, it comes with brush.
Yeah.
And it comes with palette, a brush, so a mixing palette.
Yeah.
Good. It's just that I don't want to be too messy.
No, I don't blame you. That's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, I've got some gel. I've got some glitter gel pens as well. So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, think about different materials that you can use. So yeah, maybe some glitter or something, or
Glitter glue.
yeah, that could be good. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So think about different materials. Maybe different colors as well that you want to use.
Yeah.
Now here I'm making quite a large piece, and I always think it's interesting to think about if you're creating marks and stuff and it being recorded. Is it an event? Is it a performance? Is it a painting? Is it a live painting? And those are questions that I have actually been thinking about a lot within my own work.
Yeah.
So yeah, different materials that you want to do and you want to use. Now here I'm just using a tennis ball just to make some different
Very
marks
good.
on the page, yeah. And it actually works really well. Yeah, it does actually seem to work quite well, which is good. Now this is going to be my last colour, I think, and then I'm going to have to pack up, I think, Claire. Nice bright yellow. But thank you very much for joining and watching and everything.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
I think
How
I'm
many
gonna have
people
to,
do how many people do you usually get on here?
usually it can range between about 10 and 15, but these sessions are always recorded, so you can also view the video on YouTube as well, which is quite nice.
Yeah, I can see the little people.
Yeah, definitely. I'll just hold up my last piece. This is one that I've done using
Oh, that's good, yeah.
shapes and
Look
different.
at that.
So again, think about different objects you can use, different colours, different materials, things that will make a mark, things that can make different textures. And these workshops run every Wednesday between 11 and 1 usually. But yeah,
There's one on Friday.
the one on Friday is for unique kids, so that's on Facebook Live, so you can
Oh, right, yeah.
watch that, yeah. But I'm gonna have to go for now, Claire, because I've got to pack up and have my lunch.
That's fine, that's fine.
But yeah, thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next week.
Good luck for your presentation.
Oh, thank you very much. That's brilliant. Hope to see you next week. And yeah, if you've got any questions, then just message me on Facebook.
Okay, yeah.
Brilliant.
Right.
Thank you very much. See you later.
See you later. Bye. Bye.